Labyrinth.
Welcome to the first podcast, Finding the Past by the podcast.
Christmas bloopers.
So, Phil, paradise. What is it? Where is it? And why is it important?
Paradise is what is also known as the Garden of Eden, where
Brilliant.
Adam and Eve were first removed for the original sin of eating the apple, of the fruit from the tree of life, which they shouldn't have done, apparently. Paradise itself is a former hamlet in Burnham-on-Sea. There's an area of Burnham-on-Sea called Paradise. There was Paradise Road,
Paradise City,
which was later done by
Guns N' Roses.
I'm like a ventriloquist, aren't I? The worst ventriloquist in the world. What's his name?
Axl Rose.
Why do all your things sound like Frankie Howard?
Oh, I don't do this time.
Right.
Go on.
Anyway, so Paradise, and the reason why I say it's important for our particular story.
Sorry, just I don't know. It's just in it sometimes. Yeah. I don't know. Right, sorry.
The reason why I say it's important for our particular story is that along my little journey of realising things, had noticed that within the boundaries of Paradise, the actual place here in Somerset, we had all the aspects of what made Paradise Paradise. So first of all, Paradise is sat at the foot of Mount Zion, or Mount Sion, which is actually Welsh for Sean, which is an interesting thing because a lot of these old languages break down to Welsh very well.
No one wants to Mount Sean.
Certainly not in those times.
No.
Frowned upon.
So, Paradise, Tree of Knowledge. Good
So
and evil.
what are you doing here? Going through a list
I'm
of things?
listing what makes Paradise Paradise.
You seen this though?
And we say paradise
Yeah,
is
spittle.
Burnham-on-Sea.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I just got some cool thing there. That's right.
Okay, so Phil, paradise. What is it? Where is it? And why is it important?
Paradise is in the original story of Genesis, the Old Testament, where Adam and Eve were created and lived. Adam and Eve were cast out of the garden by creating the original sin, which was eating the fruit told of by the serpent. And the fruit held the knowledge of good and evil. And by eating the fruit, they became gods themselves, which God obviously didn't like.
And we've said that there's quite a lot of correlation between that story and a local area in Somerset. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Of course. So Paradise is an actual place in Somerset. It was even called Paradise. It's the whole area on the old maps, which we will put a link in this time. It was called Paradise. The road was called Paradise Road. There's Paradise Farm, Paradise Dairies. It was called Paradise. And the reason
what sort of area was Paradise, like in say square miles?
About a square mile.
Oh, it's quite small then.
It's just a hamlet. A hamlet's a very small village.
In Burnham-on-Sea.
In Burnham-on-Sea, yeah. Between Burnham and Barrow. And within the garden or paradise, you had certain aspects which I somehow noticed that all these aspects are in paradise itself. So the first one is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The second one is the tree of life. Now in the little garden we showed in the video, we've got both those trees. Also there is a remnant of the holy thorn, which Joseph Arimathea supposedly, he had a staff, he planted into Wuriel Hill, and it turned into the holy thorn, which flowered every year about Christmas time. And it's been proved that this particular hawthorn actually originates from Palestine. So it's quite an interesting thing. Then you have the river, which branched into 4 headed watercourses with a sluice system.
Sluiced.
So basically that means that they can allow the entry of water in and out. Sluiced.
For our deaf viewers.
Basically, so yeah, it can feed the garden with water when needed to. When there's too much water, it can be drained off into the main river, which I call the Holy Grail Estuary.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the cherubims. Now, the cherubims are actually a physical feature of the church in Burnham, which was in paradise.
St Andrews?
St Andrew Church, yeah. And then you had the flaming sword, revolving flaming sword of light, which I noticed was the lighthouse. It looks like a sword and it revolves the light.
Only you noticed that.
Well, no one else has noticed it so far, I think.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Which lighthouse are we talking about?
Burnham High Lighthouse, or the occulting lighthouse, which means hidden.
So not the one on the beach, the one further up on the land.
One, yeah, the big one.
Not the original one they're converting into flats or something now. Which was Beverly Cottage. You said there was a lighthouse there, didn't you? That was the Trinity Lighthouse, which was where that was in paradise as well. So there's 3 lighthouses. The first one being called Trinity, which was quite interesting. Then you have the seal of perfection placed by God on Holy Mount Zion. Well, Brent Knoll. I've said Holy Mount Zion is Brent Knoll, and the garden is at the foot of Mount Zion. Now, to be fair, we actually haven't found this seal, but we will. We will find the seal because he's a solitary brother.
What is it?
Is it a leopard seal?
Seal jokes.
Hey.
We'll find it and we'll club it.
Oh no! No, we'll make a club. We'll make a seal club.
Only it's in baby form. So, it'll have a beach ball on the end of its nose.
So what is that? What is the seal?
I haven't found out yet.
Yeah.
Well, we're never going to find out unless we get a little crazy.
Yeah.
Oh!
This is the only thing that needs solving.
No way.
Is it?
Seal did a song, didn't he?
Yeah.
Future Love Paradise.
What?
No.
Yeah, on his first album, Future Love Paradise.
Let's invite Seal along.
It might be
Take
Seal.
him to Zion.
Maybe 6.
So go on,
Yeah.
back to the list.
Found the Fountain of Youth, which we've proved is still there for everyone to see. And in the report in the Daily Mail, it was Burnham-on-Sea was the best watering hole in the whole of the land.
Well, that's got to be true then, isn't it? Daily Mail.
Well, this is like 1930s Daily Mail, so we'll give it a little bit of we'll give it a chance.
But what's happened to that now?
It's been capped off.
Brilliant.
The old pumping house. There's nothing to be known about any of it, but the best water, the cleanest and most mineral-rich water in the whole of Britain is not accessible to anyone.
And that water used to be used for the beer in the Lighthouse Brewery, where the Lighthouse pub now is.
Oh, was that a brewery? Was
that
it?
was a brewery before it was a pub.
Oh,
But annoyingly, before my time, I wish I'd have known it. But when we did some work with Bowley and Skuse, who did that building of the school on the sea, on the beach that failed, that we were doing up a house and found some old ale bottles of Lighthouse Brewery. Got them on my shelf at home.
No way.
Oh, there we go.
All links in.
Also,
So that's quite away from the lighthouse, isn't it? So where's that correlation? Is it in the line of the lighthouse? Is it?
Yeah, we need to find that out.
that's obviously a newer building. It's a flat roof, isn't it? It's like 1960s job.
What is?
And also all the council houses and that around there would be as well.
I think the pub must.
The railway line would have gone
Brewery.
up. The railway line would have gone up there, wouldn't it?
Yeah, behind it. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, back to the story. We had the colony, which we've shown in a previous video. And then we have the labyrinth, which on Paradise Road you have the puzzles house, but there was a puzzle garden and a pub called the Puzzles or the Puzzle Garden, which is like basically a maze type labyrinth. So
that belonged to the guy who, you know, the Queen's or the Reed's Arms.
yeah,
That whole puzzle bit belonged to the guy Reed. He owned a lot of Burnham, like he was like an important guy. I don't know what he was in, line of work or whatever, banking maybe or something. I don't know. But that was his place, the Puzzle Gardens. Yeah, the whole thing.
If all this is true,
well, it is all true.
why is it not?
I'm not saying
It is true.
It is true, but why is it not more widely known?
I would like to know that myself, and that is a very deep question. But we all
Let's
should
dig
ask.
into that.
We should all ask ourselves that because no.
If we say, let me just say in a kind of analogy is if the wind blows and the leaf falls from the tree in autumn time and it covers up something, say like a, I don't know,
Sleuth.
for some reason I'm thinking of a dog poo. I don't know why, it just sounds silly, but it covers up, you don't know it's there. It's hidden from memory, isn't it? You can't remember that.
I mean, are you comparing Paradise with
dog poo.
I can't think of anything else that could be under the leaf. A conker, let's say a conker.
Giant leaves fell from the
could
sky.
come down like a sycamore leaf, which
Yeah.
not broad.
Yeah.
And they could come down, hide a conker, and then you don't know that conker's there unless the leaf is taken away.
But someone's
Well,
put
I
plaques up on the wall
put-
to say it was there. What?
Yeah,
Or
well,
someone could deliberately hide it. It's a different case altogether.
and also what I said about
Put a leaf on it.
the whole narrative. Now I'm not saying
Where's the giant leaf on that house?
leaf out.
Okay.
Leaf.
What are you saying, Phil?
You're lethal.
Ooh, I like that one.
I'm baffled because Burnham-on-Sea and Somerset as a whole is a tourism industry, probably
Waiting to happen.
after Cornwall. It's probably the next Cornwall, Devon, maybe Devon more than Somerset, but Somerset's main industry is tourism. Now, why on earth they haven't ever pushed this whole story of the Holy Grail, Jesus, Joseph, King Arthur, the Rights Table, and everything else coming through Burnham as it being like the first port of call, land spot that they sojourned in Burnham, which when they made a short stay in Paradise. They called it Paradise because it reminded them of the Garden of Eden. Now, I'm not saying that this is the original Garden of Eden, but what I found interesting is that
I think it is.
people have either built or naturally occurring things have happened. Well, I mean, maybe even not naturally occurring with Brent Knoll, because as we have seen, certain hills in Somerset have been physically built, haven't they, Rob?
Well, yeah, it's got a bit of a shape to it, hasn't it? There's a little dimple in the top.
Mount Sion could be a barrow.
It could.
A really big one.
Exactly, and
Easily.
not only that,
Giants.
Priddy, where the Mendip Masters is another massive barrow, and in fact up here I can show you. Well, we can put on after the ley line goes straight through Barrow to Priddy, and where the barrows are up on the Mendips. And I've actually been up there and filmed it, and you physically can't see them from there. But I found the other spot where you can find
The
it.
grass is green and the girls are pretty.
There you go.
Paradise City.
Paradise
Say it
City.
again, Sam.
Paradise City. Play it again, son.
So what is our interest in this? What are we trying to do?
Can I
What
just
are we
ask
gonna-
first of all, before you talk again, because I'm fed up of hearing you, is because you can't see you. It's just actually there's a voice coming out of nowhere. We've never seen this human.
Bit
It's
like
so
God.
fucking strange. Has
Some have said
Burnham,
that.
Like ever been a pilgrim route?
Well, actually, it has.
Oh, yeah.
So Green Down was a pilgrimage, and when the
For who?
for
For the
ancient
Brythonic
people,
peoples.
for the
Monks.
pre-Romano Celts, for all sorts of people, because on Green Down, you had the Mithraic temple, and Mithras not only was born at Christmas, not only came from a virgin birth, but so many things are the same as the story of Jesus. And Saturnalia itself, like I've said before, is what was the original festival.
You got fleas.
Yeah. It's a bit of a circus.
Is that how we get it? Father Mithras instead of Father Christmas.
Hey! That's a good
So
one.
would Romans have been the people that pilgrimaged to bring down?
I think I don't know exactly who.
No,
but
because they didn't worship. They weren't Christians, were they?
no, they were Mithraic.
We're
They-
talking about
they-
Mithras, though, here, aren't
Mithras,
Yeah,
yeah,
but Mithras wasn't their religion, was it?
Yeah, the
They were Mithraic, were they?
Mithraic was their religion. Yeah, yeah. Exactly. It's exactly the
So
same.
do you
as-
think
That's sun
every
worship,
religion
right?
has got a Jesus character as its front man?
pretty much
So there's
So you're the Jesus of the Brandon penetrations. Then?
multiple Jesus.
more? Yeah,
Yeah.
cheesy. And then you got cheddar, which is cheesy.
GC Jet. It's a pilgrim plane.
It's a pilgrim plane.
So just to get back to the core theme, then, what are we doing with this information? What are we going to do?
Oh,
with it?
and also the funny thing is that
White Farms.
on Burnham Beach, on Burnham seafront, there was actually a railway car called the Cathedral. Remember I showed you, Rich?
Nope.
Or I didn't. Well, I should have done.
I wish you had.
It was called the Cathedral. There's so many like different weird synchronicities with Burnham itself.
Is that Wells Cathedral?
No, it was basically an old railway hut, which for the fishermen to go in when it was stormy and whatnot, and they used to do little services from there.
Where was this?
Basically where B&M Bargains is now. So the point I was making was that within the boundaries of Paradise, we can physically show everything that makes Paradise Paradise. And it's just a weird sort of anomaly that all these things were built at different times. And I'm not saying that they were built on purpose. Someone said to me, you've got to build this here like that, you've got to build it there like that, la-di-da-di-da. But in a divine type of a way, people were sort of shown a plan, maybe, to make this paradise into actual paradise. And the reason why I think it's very strange is, once again, is because for a tourist place, which is all it is, there's no industry, there's nothing is there apart from really tourism.
Are you trying to say that they covered up the Paradise story on purpose?
Well, yeah, I mean, like you said, there's a little plaque, but that is it. Now, anyone who went to school here should know the full story, shouldn't they?
Yeah, because it's like one of the most important things in Christian mythology, isn't it?
Yeah, but not only Christian Arthurian legend with the Grail and everything else.
Yeah, true.
It's like the two biggest stories in the world. We got a direct link to the hotspot for like make it one of the like a serious tourism thing. Yeah, there's nothing. It's only me. So yeah, so that's sort of basically a quick well, I just want to show you on the map again. Skype, if you don't mind.
Is he Map Boy?
Come on, Matthew. Matthew's me, Matthew today.
Matthew.
Tonight,
Matthew,
Matthew.
John.
So here we've got the River Axe, which, as I've said before, Breen Down is here, and Brent Knoll is here. The Breen Down is here, which goes out into the sea about halfway between Steep Holm and the land. It's not there, is it? Clearly not there. Now, something that's over a mile long sticking out into the sea, you think would be there, wouldn't you?
They haven't discovered it yet.
I don't know what they were doing.
Why do you think that is?
Oh, well, I don't know.
They're insular people, the Paradisians.
The Paradisians. Then you've got the river.
Well, to be factual, if you did live in Paradise, why would you want to look outside of Paradise unless you were Eve and wanted to eat some poison apples and a snake come? Carry on.
River Brew, which takes you to Godney Pool, which is no longer there, but there was also two ancient villages there. Glastonbury just being here. Here is a River Parrot. So you've got the three, but just here. And the other point I want to make was that my dad told me when I was about 11 or 12 that a barrow was a burial mound, and I always knew barrow meant barrow. I just knew it. It was too close of a word
Too good to be
for
true.
it not to be true. And as it says here, Scott, please could you read this out for everyone? Just so I can prove that it's not just me saying this.
Where's this?
Yeah.
I'll take my reading glasses off a minute.
B-A
Baracus.
R-R-O-W-E. Barrow.
Barrow.
There you go.
So why is the River Parrot called the River Parrot?
Well, that's another interesting one.
Because
Don't ask questions you don't really want to
No,
know.
but
Yeah,
they weren't-
Barrow.
there weren't
Parrot.
parrots there, were there?
Because once you
No.
know, you can't unknow.
But
parrots in paradise.
but then also where they came in on the boat was here.
Well, the parrots.
Joseph and Jesus just here
Yeah.
between
No,
Barrow.
down a bit.
Barrow and Burnham, just there, was the fourth river with the sluice gates, which the other three still have those sluice gates. And actually, so does Brent Broad, which was the River Seager, is now Brent Broad.
And look,
that also
look at the
has
size of the fish you got in them days. Look, you see that? It's massive.
God's sake.
They've got extinct, they.
God's sake.
Tasty looking, though, isn't it?
So which rivers are we talking about? Which are the four?
Axe,
Seagull,
Parrot, Brew,
Brew.
and Seager.
the other one.
And does that have any significance, the name of those in relation to the Paradise story? Or is it just
I
random?
haven't.
You have to work that out yourself. That's down to the individual.
Yeah, I haven't had that little inkling yet of what.
Everyone's got different ideas on that, haven't they?
Well,
Because it means something. It's like a record that you listen to. It's got a different meaning to
interpretation.
different. Everyone interprets it differently.
Because the brew is spelt differently, isn't it? It's
BRUE.
yeah.
Yeah, Parrot is.
If you move the letters about, you get Rube,
Yeah.
and that could be a reference to Ruby.
And Rubik's Cube.
Another paradisian jewel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Shiny Ruby.
Axe.
Ruby,
Yo.
Ruby.
Ow.
Parrot.
You alright?
Yeah.
What was the interesting story about Parrot?
But
There isn't one, is there?
well, no,
They
actually,
got a map on that.
actually, where Puritan is now, they say that was originally Periton, and also where you
The allergy tablet.
Yeah, it's like
Periton, yeah.
get hay fever. You take that.
Some call it the River Benadryl.
That sounds a bit like. Oh, it is, isn't it? That's a
Yeah.
medicine.
Just
I was thinking that sounds a bit like.
Can we get some? Can we
medicine.
get some new panel guests, please? I mean, you might laugh at my jokes.
Sorry, it's funny, mate. Nightmares.
Yeah, and
When you said that, it would be funny.
Downland there was a castle, which would have sort of defended that entrance into the River Brew, because they changed the course of the River Brew at the time, and the Parrot there. Not the Brew, they changed the course of the Parrot, sorry. And they say that they travelled along the river.
Flight on a baby is another one now.
They travelled along the River Brew to get to Glastonbury, and then that's where the Glastonbury tradition comes from that point there on. So the point I was trying to make is that the physical aspects of the Garden of Eden and Mount Sion are all in Paradise, which was the Garden of Eden, and how it's very strange. Like I said, there's hardly any sort of report or anything to do with Paradise at all.
I think that definitely the local landlords and people are definitely trying to subdue the whole story.
So, on that note, we'd like to say
we'd like to see what?
We'd like to say thank you
For what you are about to receive.
joining us on the podcast by the Pathfinders, and hopefully we'll be here next week, maybe the week after, sometime. Brilliant.
Peace out, mother finders.